Hello, you're listening to Storytelling Saga, the podcast that shares stories. I'm your host, Stanley, and this week I'm discussing BASEketball, starring Trey Parker and Matt Stone, directed by David Zucker, who directed Naked Gun, Airplane, like all those stupid, ridiculous movies. This movie is so over the top and so dumb. There's so much slapstick in it, and oh my god, it's just so funny. This is one of those movies I've seen a lot over the years. I'm pretty sure I first watched it when I was 15 or so, and that's when I first started watching South Park when I was 13, so then I found out about other things Matt and Trey had starred in, because they also starred in Orgasmo. They have a bunch of other stuff, obviously, but I love this movie and how stupid it is. They themselves aren't exactly proud of it. They only did this movie because they thought that South Park was going to be canceled. So they figured just kind of ride the wave, and while they were still relevant, I guess, at the time in Hollywood back in the late 90s when South Park started, really in 97. So they just figured to do that just, for, I guess, for the money, and saying they were sellouts. So stupid. But I didn't know that actually Zucker had wanted Chris Farley as the lead role. That would have been really fantastic too. Tragically, the late Chris Farley, but that would have been really good. It's so dumb, this movie, but it's because of Matt and Trey that I love it so much. And it really does lampoon sports. Like, it's a sports comedy movie, but it really lampoons sport fans and just sports industries and how athletes are traded to other teams for the sake of money and just making fun of that kind of stuff. So it's just, oh my god, I'm just already laughing because God, this movie is fucking so stupid, but I love it so fucking much. And so our main characters are Doug Reamer, played by Matt Stone, and Joe Cooper, played by Trey Parker. And it just kind of feels like it's them, it feels like, but it's just so funny because, well, Matt and Trey actually met in college, though, but in this movie, they're childhood best friends, and they're just total idiots and losers, really, as depicted at the start anyway. But then it just goes to show that even if you're a slacker in life, as stupid as this movie is, you can learn a thing or two from it. In particular, so if you kind of don't know your direction in life and you come off like them being total fucking losers and idiots, that look what they accomplished, and they totally just pulled it out of their ass. They just made up this game, BASEketball, taking the rules of baseball, and then you just try to make a basket, though, so combining baseball and basketball. And so that's really great. I mean, just goes to show that, you know, even if everyone thinks you're a loser, you just may surprise people. So it's just fantastic. And then it quickly takes on, and then it becomes this whole huge thing. And then there's also the guy, Squeak Scolari, and that actor has been in other movies with them, too. His name is Dion Bachar, and he's done a voice or two on South Park, too, and he was in Orgasmo with them. Orgasmo, I've seen that movie not as many times as this one. I don't really like that one as much as this movie, because that one just kind of, Matt and Trey, they don't interact as much in that one, and they're playing more characters, as in Trey plays a Mormon in it, and then he gets involved with doing porn in that movie. So that movie's crass, too. This movie's very, very crass. What's funny is, so seeing it over the years, even on cable sometimes, and that version of it, it's so heavily edited. So seeing now, it's been a while since I've seen the full unedited version, and I've forgotten certain jokes that are really super crass and inappropriate. A lot of dick jokes, a lot of just really, you know, over the top crass sex stuff and just gross things, even in the beginning. I don't really, you know, getting into all that gross stuff. I don't want to touch on it too much, but you know, when they are, just for example, when they are in the girl's bedroom and then she's like, what are you doing in my mom's room? And then they're like in the underwear drawer, they're so fucking disgusting. And then Trey's like, which he does a lot throughout this movie, that I love that stupid sound. And they made a joke on South Park, I think it was the episode, what was the episode? Passion of the Jew, I'm pretty sure, the one making fun of, you know, Passion of the Christ. And there's a part where Stan says, this is just like when we got our money back for BASEketball. So they really are not, you know, proud of this. But God, to me, they're just, oh my God, I really had a thing for Matt in particular, seeing this movie. I remember at the time first watching it. So at this point, it was all Matt. Matt's so, oh my God, his like fro. I just dig Matt in this movie in particular. Oh my goodness. But because, you know, Trey's got the washed out bleach blonde hair in this movie that doesn't really work for him, but it's so funny, you know. Oh my God. So, where was I? Well, so then when they go pro, everything just takes on a whole new life. So they go pro with BASEketball. And the guy, the Denslow guy, played by the late Ernest Borgnine, and he was, the voice of Mermaid Man on SpongeBob. So, obviously a bunch of other stuff, but that's something other people would know him as. So then, he ends up dying rather early on, choking on a hot dog. It's like, oh, I know, they stopped selling those after the 7th. Someone get this man a hot dog. So stupid. And, when they lose the game, and then I'm gonna keep saying Matt and Trey when Reamer says, okay, do the happy dance, and someone just chucks an egg at him, and then as the guy is dying too, he just throws an egg at Coop. Oh my God, so ridiculous. So again, all the slapstick is so over the top, and clearly David Zucker is a big fan of doing what's done a lot in this movie too, of when you have a conversation going on and then something utterly ridiculous is going on in the background. That's big in Naked Gun. Those movies are so over the top hilarious too. And goofy, stupid movies like this are just great because they're not trying to hide the fact that it's just comedy at its core and all of it's just utter stupidity with its classic slapstick. But also, they try to have, it's a narrative, but it's kind of just, you don't have to focus on the plot. It's just really just all the stupid stuff that just makes you laugh. So that's just what's great about it. Not trying to hide the fact that it's just dumb shit. A lot of movies like that, Dumb and Dumber's like that too. Which is all really stupid, ridiculous, nasty stuff that happens, but it's just so goddamn funny. So when the guy dies and he gives the team to Coop, and then that other guy, whatever his name is, Kane, already sliding in on the wife, played by Jenny McCarthy. And it's so funny when he's reading his will and testament, and then he's saying, okay, now, this is for Coop. If everyone could just leave the room, and no one leaves. And he's like, oh, remember when you had the crabs? Oh, I found a great use for this cream. It's great on your chest. I'm too sexy for my shirt. And everyone, Matt's facial expression is so fucking hilarious. He's just, so disgusted. And, oh my God, it's so funny. So I just love that. And then meanwhile, a little bit of a love story with it when we meet Jenna Reed, played by Yasmine Bleeth, and she's the director of that charity that's clearly kind of a parody of Make-A-Wish Foundation, and it's Dream Come True Foundation. So all of these kids, you see all those kids that are sick and dying, saying, well, we prefer to call it health challenged and survival impaired. What the fuck? And then there's the one kid, Joey, who really looks up to Coop, and he just wants to spend the day with him then. And it's just so stupid. And then when she's like, think, Joey, look into your heart and think about what you really want more than anything in the world. Chelsea Clinton? And then they're just like, no. And Reamer says, you'd have a better shot at Bill. My fucking God. I forgot about that joke. Jesus Christ. So when he spends the day with them, and they're just doing stupid shit together, and Squeak too, meanwhile, he's involved too, because then he ends up living with them. I loved that earlier too, when he's like, okay, so this is your bed. He's like, what? How am I supposed to get a chick in that? So, if you rip on me 13 or 14 more times, I'm out of here. But the poor guy, but he's a good sport about it. Oh my God. His real name is Kenny, apparently. So, perhaps a nod to South Park. I don't know. There are bits of South Park here and there, when Trey does his random Garrison voice, and then later on too, when they do the psych outs, and then he does his classic Cartman, I'm fucking fat. That was before when he first did Cartman, then it changed over the years, so that was still the early version of Cartman. I think he changed Cartman's voice and inflection around season 3 or so. And then as it went on, it kind of got deeper a little bit, but then I don't know. It's mostly it's been the same now for years and years, but there was a turning point a little bit with the Cartman voice. With Stan and Kylo, it was always the same. With Kenny, always the same. But with that one in particular, it changed at some point. But anyway, so when they just are doing stupid shit, and well, they're just staring at, sitting at a laundromat, staring at the spinning laundry at one point, and just picking up leaves, and Doug and Coop are kind of fighting for Jenna, for her affection. Squeak in the background, almost getting, getting chased, almost getting killed or whatever, getting chased by the lawnmower. And they're at the fucking bar, and just serving an 8-year-old kid alcohol. Again, you don't think too much about it. It's just for the sake of comedy, but oh my God, that's fucking ridiculous too. So, okay, so we'll take a shot every time a fight breaks out. Doing shots, watching Jerry Springer. Fucking this kid can hold his liquor, this goddamn kid. God, they're just doing shots. And then he's saying, well, you think you can make a home run for me, Coop? And then, of course, Reamer being like, no, he can make 2. It's hell, he can make 3. Really? It's like, Reamer, can I see you? And then he's just slamming his head in the background. So fucking dumb. It's like, oh, you got that big liver operation tomorrow. Oh, this kid, he's a sweet kid. He's like, oh, it's the best day of my life. He gets hit, like, as he's leaving the bar, hits his head against the wall. So then as they are making the big leagues going all around the world with BASEketball, and those commentator guys are so stupid too and so ridiculous. My favorite line is when he's saying, okay, this is it. Either he wins, like he'll make the shot, he wins it all, and then the other guy says, or he misses. That's it. Oh my God. And again, like making fun of kind of sport commentary and sports fans, and that's ridiculous too. It's like, oh well, they celebrated the big win, there was only 3 deaths and 2. Oh my God, it's so ridiculous. And also the sexualized cheerleaders, and the guy says, hard to believe just 5 years ago those girls were in grade school. God, that's upsetting. And they're straight up strippers at one point, like literally on poles, half naked and lingerie, again just lampooning all of this shit in sports. Like, oh my God, it's so ridiculous. But then the villain, Kane, he just wants to control BASEketball, even though he's a rich asshole as it is, but he wants, money, more money, I guess. And when he just lures in then he's dating the dead guy's wife now, and he's saying, I trust, it's like, I'm surprised he didn't want to make more money. I trust that quality wasn't sexually transmitted. Like, ew, what the fuck, dude? And then it's just so funny. It's like, we could lay carpet if you know what I mean. And she's like, oh, I know what you mean. And then she's literally laying carpet. He's like, well, my lobby could use a good buffing if you know what I'm saying. And then she's just literally doing that. Again, crass jokes and then taking it literally, so stupid. And when they go to Joey in the hospital, it's so dumb. It's like, oh, this kid's freezing when they're sitting on his oxygen thing. Oh my God, it's like, sir, can I borrow your blanket? Takes the guy's blanket, the guy goes flying. All just stupid shit. And then meanwhile, Jenna is kind of falling for Coop, and then she's saying, well, I'm just worried about getting attached. I mean, the kid's getting attached. And then Coop saying, Jenna, I would never do anything to hurt these kids. And then they just start kissing, and then of course Reamer and Squeak show up. They look at all this shit we got at the hospital. Like, she's like, oh, there was some terrorist attack at the hospital, these guys apparently posing as basketball players, and like, it was them, of course. So fucking stupid. Oh my God, but hilarious. So then Kane wanted to get get Coop first too, because since Coop is the owner of the team, then he wanted to get Coop to go on board to make all these changes to get more money. And he says, no, you got to get someone else's consent. And then of course he goes to Reamer, and Reamer is a straight up dumbass, but he's so funny. And again, Matt is so funny in this movie. His facial expressions, his sheer stupidity when he's looking around at all of his sports memorabilia. He throws the fucking autographed bat into the fire on accident, and then the guy's like, remind me to show you my prized possession, my Ted Cobb or whoever it is, my autographed bat. And then there's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar literally sitting in there. It's like, yes, when I want something, I take it. And then he's trying to talk to him, and then when he's nodding, and he just goes down the escalator, he's like, Reamer, try to stay focused. So stupid. Then he's like, dude, you didn't even take Kane's offer without even talking to us. And then they go back and forth, dude. Well, I guess you have a point there. I love that fucking stupid exchange.
All right, what do you want, dude? Dude, what do you think? We invented this game together, but you get to control everything. Listen, Kane has some pretty good ideas.
Dude, Denslow gave me the team, all right? I already told Kane no.
Dude, I'm sure Denzel's happy in his little worm farm, but us, please.
Dude, I'm not gonna do it.
All right, dude, listen to me carefully. Do you think Shaq got rich playing in Orlando?
No, he got rich playing in college. Everybody knows that. But dude, it's not about the money. It's about tradition. Look, think about the greats who have played this game. It's because of them. It's because of us that I can't bow down to a guy like Kane.
Dude, that's easy for you to say, because you got the team. We got jack shit. Even Squeak is pissed off.
Oh, hell, I never really minded.
Shut up, bitch! Dude, quit thinking about yourself for a change.
Dude, I'm not gonna cave in. End of story, dude.
Dude?
Dude!
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 Dude. Well, I guess you've got a point there.
And then he decides, okay, well then from now on we're all going to own a portion of the team. Then, Kane blackmails them with the foundation because, with Jenna, and then they're going to close the foundation, so then he wants them to throw the game. It's so dumb. Like, the condition is that they have to win the Denslow Cup for Coop to be the permanent owner of the team. So then the guy is using that against him. And so then he's like, okay, well then how are we going to get more money to save the foundation? So then they becomes a sellout. Like Reamer agrees to take his offer. And I love that whole stupid montage too with Scatman. And Doug is so, I keep like wanting to say Matt and Trey. And Coop is all upset, but then Reamer is like so happy and doing fashion shoots and that thing like ba-da-ba-beep, ba-ba-ba-da-boop with his tongue when he does that. And I just love it. It's so stupid, that whole sequence. And then meanwhile, he's blackmailing them again, saying these are what's really happening, pictures of child laborers in Calcutta making the clothing. And Coop was going to give Jenna, it's a ring saying, I may be thinking about us becoming exclusive. It's like, well, I'm giving her a pre-commitment ring. It's like so stupid. Like just, and then, you know, again, like the ridiculous crass jokes where you just see like these fake dicks that they have, like they're naked. Whoever asses are those, you know, got nice butts. I don't know if it was really their butts or if it was like, you know, stunt, you know, body doubles, but whatever. But like that stupid joke when Kane is in the locker room with them and then he's going to blackmail them and with the pictures. And then he's just like, and like he, like, you know, with this, like the fake cock, like the fake 3-foot cock. Like, oh my God, so ridiculous. And then when Jenna comes in, I saw the pictures. It's like, and she's like, oh, you and your massive egos. She's like, oh, long winger, throbbing cock, and she just runs out like, oh my God, so stupid, such ridiculous jokes. And then when Coop goes to Calcutta and she's like, oh, this isn't good, like these child laborers, and that was so stupid too. Another moment when he was at home and then looking through the, like wanting to watch the game, and then it's like, and here's roadkill, like get everything, animals getting run over. He's like, oh, I can't believe those assholes taped over the game. But so then he makes things right in Calcutta, which is great. It's like now the laborers are paid well. And then like there's that Dateline kind of thing on the news, and then the guy saying, whatever happened to Joe Cooper? No one has seen him. And then the guy's going on and on. And then he's saying, well, now he went to Calcutta and he did all this great stuff. If I were a woman, I'd want to be his girlfriend. Gazing longingly into his eyes as we shared our morning coffee, and then someone just throws water in his face. Like, he's like, oh yes, thank you. So then he makes things right with that, and then it's like their last big game. They got to win the big game. Oh, and also when they had a fight though, Reamer and Coop, and then he's like, you know what, you're not my best friend anymore, you know, now Squeak's gonna be my best friend. Wake up, bitch, you're my new best friend. What, are we going to the zoo? Like, I love that, so dumb. And more with stupid background jokes when the guy is there to kind of, again, trying to trick them and stuff, the Kane guy, and then in the background you just see them like throwing Squeak back and forth, like just such sheer stupidity again. But then the whole thing with the psych outs, and then it's like, oh, Squeak, tell him, it's like, you know, tell him he's fat, whatever, all that stuff. Or no, Trey does that, say he's fat, and it does the Cartman voice. But with Squeak, it's like, tell him this, and then you just see him, like, he's like, your mother's deaf, my mother's dead, I guess that's why she didn't move around a lot. Like, ew, good God, a lot of jokes about fucking family members, so gross and so stupid. But then, of course, they win the game. But I have two favorite parts of this movie. One is probably the moment I've seen the most times, just on its own, which I loved as a 15-year-old. I love now as a 30-year-old. It kind of, you know, I find it hot, even though it's like really ridiculous and over the top and stupid and supposed to be. It is hilarious too. It made me laugh now, this most recent watch. But when they make up, Matt and Trey, Doug and Reamer, they make up and they're like, I'm sorry, Coop. And he's like, no, I'm sorry. I guess we lost sight of things. And then they're like, dude. And they just start making out. And apparently they just did that themselves, as in, like, they just decided to do that, Matt and Trey. That wasn't scripted, so that makes it all the more fucking glorious. But, I mean, I just always have found that make out hot. I really do. It's, like, all tongue. It's just, like, so sloppy and over the top and so fucking dumb. It makes me laugh, too, but just, I don't know. When he puts his hands on him, like, when Trey puts his hands on Matt's face, like, oh, my God. So I always have found that moment hot. That's probably my favorite moment. My other favorite moment, though, is when he needs to make things right and he's driving, and then the stupid song, you try and you can't let go, and then look out there's a truck changing lanes, and like, if your girlfriend thinks it's like super specific, your girlfriend thinks you suck, and the warts in your dick aren't gonna go away until, like, oh my God. And so it's just so fucking dumb. And it's Trey singing, because that was when they had their band's DVDA, but I don't know if they still have that band, but I don't know, that was just one of the songs. songs. So it's just so dumb. But, you know, of course, then they're winning the game and everything is right in the end. Coop and Jenna reunite, which is nice, and the kids. And he had his special lazy boy ball, but then when it had broken, then Joey had made him a new one. And he says, you know, I want to be a sports star just like Joe Cooper. So, like, that's his hero. It's so cute. And then when Reggie Jackson comes, which was Joe's hero as a kid, that whole opening thing with the kids is so funny, too. Like, when he catches the home run ball and then he's saying, oh, I mean, I totally had it. Like the one kid that's supposed to be Reamer, I guess a kid, like, was so stupid, and he wanted to be a big sports star. So it just goes to show, never give up on your dreams. And the whole thing I forgot to mention with the 3 home runs, he only makes 2 out of 3 home runs, so they thought they had killed Joey, but thankfully he was okay in the end. Joey with his liver operation. Oh my god. It's just so dumb. And then Reamer ends up making out with the guys, Jenny McCarthy. I don't remember what her name is in this movie, whatever, the guy's wife, and that asshole Kane's over for him. So it's great. So they get the Denslow Cup and it's great. So it's just a feel-good movie with all of its sheer stupidity and over-the-topness, and just always makes me laugh. It's so ridiculous. That song, oh my god, and them making out. God, I love that so much. It's so ridiculous. So even though Matt and Trey aren't proud of this movie, it's just entertaining. It's just so funny. It's so stupid, but so hilarious. So what a great, ridiculous, dumb, fantastic movie. And with that, that's going to conclude this week's episode of Storytelling Saga. Be sure to visit storytellingsaga.com and feel free to send me any questions, comments, or writing prompts by emailing me at storytellingsaga@gmail.com. Next week, there is no lake at Camp Green Lake. There once was a very large lake here, the largest lake in Texas. That was over 100 years ago. Now it is just a dry, flat wasteland. I'll be discussing holes. Until then, thank you for listening, and remember, write what you love.
Your life is spinning out of control. Seems the whole world is out to get you. Everything is wrong, nothing seems right. There's a sinking feeling inside it. Even your best friend has turned his back. But you can't let it bring you down. No, you've got to fight it. 'Cause you try, but you can't let go. It's when you're down that you gotta get up. Don't let them walk all over your face. Stand up for yourself and make everything right again. Even if some guy's trying to blackmail you and your girlfriend thinks you suck, it's up to you to let them know that it was all just part of some rich guy's evil plan. Look out ahead, there's a truck changing lanes. You got some yellow crumbs on your upper lip, and those warts on your dick aren't gonna go away unless you start using topical cream every day.